I'm here today in the East Riding of Yorkshire at the site of possibly the most second famous battle in English history. It's summer 1066 and Harold, King of England, having stolen the crown after the death of Edward the Confessor in early January, is currently guarding the south coast waiting for the imminent invasion by William, Duke of Normandy. However, in September of that year, a thunderbolt is struck, not in the south where expected, but here in the north. Harold's disinherited younger brother Tostig, alongside the Norwegian King Harold Sigurdsson, also known as Hardrada or Hardrada, land and the river is outside York. They move against the local York garrison, soundly defeating them at the Battle of Fulford. Then at this point Harold is notified of the attack, marches north. In 14 days he arrives in York and surprises the Tostig and Hardrada's army here on the banks of the River Derwent, just about 10 miles from York. The bridge behind me, can't really see it, but it is there, is Stamford Bridge. It was across here that the initial advance was held up by a lone Viking warrior fighting off the Saxon army. And along this riverbank somewhere, the plan was hatched to send a thane in a barrel underneath the bridge and to attack him in the nether regions, thus clearing the way for the English army to advance from the Danes. We'll shortly be visiting that area of the battlefield, but here's just a quick look at the Derwent River and the bridge kind of round behind that tree there. We're now up on the battle flats at Stamford Bridge. This is where most of the action took place up here. So rapid was King Harold's advance upon the Norwegian force that many of them had left their chainmail jackets back in their warships back on the River Ouse. The first sign of trouble that they noticed was the glint of the sun off of the armour of King Harold's men as they came up. Here the shield walls were formed and a clash would begin. Prior to the clash though, legend has it that a parley was offered in which King Harold would give back Tostig's lands as heir of Northumbria, but for Hardrada he only offered 7 foot of land, just enough for his grave. As expected, Hardrada declined and battle was fought. The English assault started with a bombardment from the English archers upon the Norwegian shield wall. Undefended with a lack of mail, this caused a decimation within the Norwegian lines. Yes, the English did have archers at this battle. They weren't there at Hastings. Would that have made effect? After the archers, the infantry shield walls advanced upon each other. They clashed, probably on the edge of the ridge line there. Once the battle was fought and over, it only lasted an hour, 2 max. This battle, the devastation for the Norwegians was ultimate. They arrived with over 200 ships. They would be leaving with less than 20. It was an outright defeat and the end for any Danish attempt on the English throne. Unfortunately, Hardrada is killed within the action, so too is Tostig. We don't know where Hardrada is buried, probably in a grave pit around here somewhere, if not they were maybe burned. Tostig, it's believed that Harold took his body back to York when he returned there a few days later and buried him at York Minster. Whilst in York, Harold received some devastating news. Just 3 days after the Battle of Stamford Bridge, on the 28th of September 1066, William, Duke of Normandy had landed on the south coast at Pevensey. It was now a rush. In just over 2 weeks' time, they will meet at the Battle of Hastings. You wonder if this battle didn't take place, if the outcome would have been different. The losses inflicted here on the English, although small in comparison to the Norwegian forces, clearly that would have an effect at the latter battle, as too would the fact that the archers, normally quite low classes, having to walk back rather than ride back like Harold and his housecarls, they just didn't make it on time. The archers in that stronger position at Senlac would have made much of a difference, we don't know. What we do know though is that the two battles combined to make one of the most important stages of English history.